Shadow of the Erdtree gives us another opportunity to once again dive into the amazing world that FromSoftware has built, Elden Ring. 2 years in the making, and a whole bunch of new baddies to take on, a bunch of Shadow Tree fragments to find, one Empyrean to follow, and lots of death awaits us, Tarnished. But today, we will be discussing 10 cool secrets that you may have, or may have not, discovered yourself. I want to make these kind of videos to highlight things, parts of the game that I don't think would necessarily be an entire video on their own. So look forward to playing more of these Elden Ring and any other game that I have lodged in my brain. And by the way, spoilers ahead. Hi, my name is Moody, and welcome to the Game Den. If you are new to FromSoftware games, this may literally blow your mind, but watch this. Yes, they are absolutely here in this game. In the base game, they were used quite sparingly, but not here in the DLC. Oh no, there are plenty of hidden paths to discover. So if you don't know, FromSoftware has always had hidden walls within their games. All you have to do is simply roll or swipe at said hidden wall. And voila, a path will appear. Veterans of the game know to keep a keen eye on such walls, like the term leave no stone unturned, leave no wall unslapped. You may regret it, because in this DLC, some paths are not just leading you to your typical treasure box with some goodies. No, this time there are whole areas behind these walls that you could be missing out on. A quick tip is having Margaret or Moog Shackle in your inventory equipment. Activating either can reveal hidden paths. And if you're still having trouble, remember you can always rely on the community to guide you via messages they leave, or simply troll you. But hey, it's part of the game. Did you ever find yourself strolling Castle Ensis, doing your due diligence to make sure you've combed the entire place of all its cool items you could have missed, when suddenly you look over to that tower, a little ways over, and realize, hey, I don't think I've been to that part of the castle. Well, if you said that, it's more than likely that you haven't been there, since that is not Castle Ensis, but actually Fog Rift Fort, that sits just next to Castle Ensis. This location can easily be missed because initially you would have noticed it as you first entered Castle Ensis, and most likely thought to yourself that I'm bound to make my way to that part of the castle at some point, but probably got a little distracted by a once carrion princess with a certain set of skills to pummel tarnishes such as yourself. In the name of Mesmer. The Carians really have a thing for guys with long red hair. But I digress. To get to Fog Rift Fort, you'll have to make your way through Castle Ensis or around it. And if you didn't know that you could do that, don't worry, we'll get back to that in this video. You'll need to make your way to this Shadow Atlas West Grace. Once you've arrived here, walk along the edge of the cliff past the little camp and look below. You'll find small cliff sides that will let you drop into the Fog Rift Fort, where you'll be greeted by a bunch of soldiers that are very eager to see you blow up. But it's totally worth it. First, you'll finally be able to take revenge on those pesky soldiers throwing pots at you when you were down below. Second, you'll have the pleasure of fighting Black Knight Garu, who possesses a frog tongue. And of course, once you comb the area, you will be rewarded with these goodies. Struggling to beat Rellana? No problem. You can totally skip her and the entirety of Castle Ensis if you want. This is how you do it. First, you'll want to start at the Grace Castle front. Get on Torrent and head east. On the map, you will see a road that you can follow along. Go past the stockade fence with an opening, and you'll be greeted by a 2-man patrol. And beyond that, some men lounging by a campsite. Run past or make quick work of them, but take note of the soldier looking through a telescope. He is the hint implying you can descend from here. Make your way past the large Krabby Patty. Run up the hill until you hit a cliff, and then veer left. As you continue, you will see a sealed spirit spring to your left. Run past it, and just before you make it to the shack, on your left will be the sealed block. Break it. And now you can take flight upon the spirit spring. On the second jump, if you are in a rush and don't want to land in Fort Reprimand, simply land to the side of the fort and continue onward.
Okay.
Ignore Rykard's abductor virgins, suspiciously hiding in the bushes. And just in front of the Fort Reprimand is a Grace. Save the spot, take a seat. And now, you are on the other side of Castle Ensis. You can be on your merry way without having to face the Sword of Mesmer, until you've collected as many Shadow Tree fragments as you need to turn that Moon Knight into a Moon River of blood.
Now that's a lot of damage!
This particular weapon got some real love from the developers, making sure that from locating this sword all the way to unlocking it, its 2 true potentials was an insane experience that only FromSoft could offer. And get this, it's completely hidden away in secrecy. So, strap in for this one, cause it's a doozy. To start this little quest, you'll want to venture your way to the Fog Rift Catacombs. Once you're in, make sure you ward off any of those annoying imps waiting to ambush you. And also be ready for long-range fights with these menace. They're pretty weak, but if you drop your guard, they can pack quite a punch once they start going. Also, make sure you don't get hit by one of these. Funny enough, these spike traps will be what gets us to the swords. Once you're in this room, you can make your way here, and once the spike drops, very sly FromSoft, and go ahead and grab this treasure chest. It possesses the Blinkball Ash of War. It's the same move the boss of this catacomb, the Death Knight, uses. Once the trap drops again, jump on it and run along the top to this secret room where we get the Stone Sheath sword. But once you get the Sheath sword, it honestly doesn't look nor feel like you got anything amazing. Cause now we have to go on another trek to unlock its full potential. Hidden away in the Shadow Keep, what you got to do is make your way to this area. And tucked away, you can either jump down or take the ladder and head deep into the castle. You'll know you're in the right area when you come across a painting at a dead end. But remember, number 1 on our list? Yes, indeed, an invisible wall. Now make your way through, and you'll be greeted by a very familiar form of transportation in the Elden Ring world, a coffin hanging at the edge of the cliff.
Okie dokie.
Now you've reached the Shadow Atlas, and can now make your way into the Ruins of Rauh. But what is this? How are we supposed to get in when there is a very suspiciously set Wickerman blocking our path? This puzzle was a fun, albeit an absolute brain scratcher to figure out. But in your journey in the Land of Shadow, you might have come across this note that details a furnace keeper warnings of the furnace's proper use. Keep fire pots well clear from the golem's furnace is ablaze, and never let me catch you with pots that produce flaming whirlwinds. For goodness sake. Very interesting.
Okay.
Now we are free to send him back to his grave, or simply enter the burned ruins, and now we can make our way to the altar. And one button press away, and now you possess the Sword of Darkness. To finish this amazing journey of the Stone Sheath, there is one more transformation you can get, and you'll find it all the way in the ancient ruins of Rauh. Now I have to come clean. I honestly had no idea how anyone could have figured this one out. Luckily for me, that's where the community came in clutch. As I stood looking into the distance thinking, well, I guess this is where the road ends, I immediately noticed a floating message just hovering. Surely there isn't an invisible path ahead of me. Only one way to find out.
Success!
It's moments like this which make me truly love FromSoftware's approach. So, and can now reach this altar. Present your sword once more, and you now possess the Sword of Light. Within Bonny Village lies a mystery that currently no one can answer. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. At the northmost point of the village, beyond all the jars, lies a macabre statue of a headless America. This is where you can obtain the Oh Mother gesture. But just west of that statue, tucked away and so easily missed, is something very strange. Is something currently no one really knows the story behind the strange finding. Snakes are mentioned and seen throughout Elden Ring. There are characters such as Mesmer and Rykard who possess snake imagery, yet there really isn't anything to directly connect either of them to the shedded skin. And there are no enemies, animals, or NPCs that look remotely similar. The skin implies there is a snake of this size still roaming the world somewhere, and maybe bigger, or at least did for a time. Many questions and no answers. I hope the community can crack the code one day, but until then, we will have to live with the mystery of the snakeskin in Bonny Village. Have you seen this in game? And what could this possibly belong to? Write your theory in the comment section below.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't have my boy here pull your head off. How about a magic trick?
Do you like spells? The DLC came with lots of cool new weapons and skills, and if you wanted a spell that really felt OP against bosses and enemies and had no real setback except just taking some light damage every time you cast it, the Impenetrable Thorns spell is a spell for you. The offset of losing a little blood to summon a trail of shadow thorns that not only land multiple hits if done correctly, but also does bleed damage. So if you keep your distance and time your hits as well, aka spamming the move, this could lead to a whole lot of damage for such a little price.
Yes!
The spell is tucked away in the Labyrinth Specimen Library. The quickest way to reach its location, if you've already explored the Shadowkeep Castle, is to return to the site of grace called the Dark Chamber entrance, just before Mesmer. Walk your way down the stairs, and right off this edge, look down and you'll see a hidden balcony. Jump down and grab the spell off this poor fellow.
Nice.
And voila! Enjoy bleeding anyone who dares to fight. The village beyond the statue, the Shaman Village. Before the Greater Will's influence, there was a time long ago when there was only the kindness of gold. Hidden away deep in the Shadowkeep lies a secret protected by those who know the history of Elden Ring. Behind this statue lies the origin of where Elden Ring arguably began. In this room lies a note. Have mercy for the spirited away shaman. A clue. The note implies that there is a correlation to this puzzle to the events that had taken place in Bonny Village, the atrocities that were committed to the shaman people. For pity's sake, your place is in the jar. Knight sainthood itself awaits you within. For shaman like you, this is your lot. The O Mother gesture is also acquired here at this village, in the north in front of the lone statue of Marika, suggesting you can offer this gesture to the statue as a prayer. Journey through the tranquility to find the place where it all began, the village where Marika was born. I plan to make a lore video about Marika, including all the new revelations we've learned through the DLC, so stay tuned for that. But for this area in the game, I suggest if you haven't gotten to it and seen it for yourself, go and take it in and ponder as you roam the tiny village, the life Marika the child once had before everything came to be as we know it. On a lighter note, let's talk about the Untouchables. These things are quite terrifying. Not only do they look like something straight out of Bloodborne, they even get their own hype before encountering them, with messages such as
What?
and
What is that? What the?
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
if the tone wasn't already set. To make matters worse, as you descend deeper into the abyssal woods, Torrent, out of nowhere, freaks out and leaves you. Try to call him back, and you are given this message.
I'm in danger!
Next thing you know, you are doing your best, Metal Gear impression, sneaking around in the bushes, and then
What was that noise?
the Untouchable sees you. And like the name implies, you can't hit them. But You totally can.
Ho, 向かってくるのか。逃げずにこのディオに近づいてくるのか。
近づかなきゃてめえをぶちのめせないんだな。
ほほう。では十分近づくがよい。
As said in this note, I touched him, but only once. When he thrust his staff in my face, I brushed it aside. It was then that I touched him, the aging Untouchable. So, it's actually kind of easy. All you gotta do is not panic and parry their attack. And presto, you got yourself a very touchable Untouchable. Alright guys, well those were 10 cool secrets you could find in the shadow of the Erdtree. And let me tell you, there is nothing quite like the feeling when everything clicks in a FromSoftware game and you are rewarded with the game's progression. Hopefully you learned about something new and you can hopefully give it a shot. I enjoy making these list videos and hope you enjoyed watching this one. And if you guys like them, I'll make more of these kind of videos while I'm working away in the back trying to finish my lore videos. And also let me know in the comment section some of the cool secrets you guys have discovered in your travels through the lands of shadow. Anyways, my name is Moody and this is the Game Den. Take care and I'll see you on the next one.